Hey guys, welcome to the AFTERBUZZ TV After Show for Dance Moms. We're talking episode 32, season 6, 2 studios, 2 teams, part 1. Let's go.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey guys!
Living on the dance floor.
I have a new panel!
Yay!
And we're so excited! Hey guys, welcome to the AFTERBUZZ TV After Show for Dance Moms. I'm Jennifer Leone, and you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Jennifer Leone TV. And please follow AFTERBUZZ TV as well. Give us a thumbs up, comment. We have the live chat rolling, so please talk to us. Tell us what you think. We want to hear your feedback too. And yesterday, I actually talked to Gianna Martello, so I have that interview up on AFTERBUZZ as well and on YouTube if you want to search it. So these are my co-hosts. Becca, why don't you tell everyone where they can find you?
Hi, I'm Becca Brown. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Becca B Talks TV.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm very happy to be here. My name is Pam Gross. You can find me all over the internet at Pamela Gross Jill.
Perfect.
Yeah.
This is Pam's first panel ever.
Yeah.
So we're so excited to have you.
Thank you.
Excited to have you on AFTERBUZZ.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
So let's talk Dance Moms. I'm really excited because I actually have a whole new perspective on Dance Moms now since I talked to Gianna, and it's really crazy. I talked to her last night, guys. Please check out that video because there's so much behind the scenes stuff that she shares. It's like incredible. So watching this show now, and it's kind of hard to watch because there's no like dancing, really. What did you guys think about that?
A lot of rehearsal.
Yeah.
But I get what you mean because it was a different vibe tonight because there was no competition and like no award time.
Nothing to grade.
No like first, second, third, no that stuff.
Right.
There was some major drama, though, tonight.
There was.
So even though they didn't dance and the drama wasn't competition-based, we had a lot of sniping, griping, minis, and the elite team, a lot of that action going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
You have to
so
have
that
it.
it was still an action-packed, episode, and there's a lot
Totally.
to, there was a lot going on, even though they didn't dance. And
Yeah.
they still danced.
I'm just kind of thrown off because that's what they do.
That is what. Wait, they're the skip moms, the sing moms.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Sing moms.
Well, they should. They do dance very well. There
Right.
Yes.
Right.
I'm
Yes, we have a full
That's
panel.
me.
That's you.
Yeah.
I thought someone was talking to us in the chat. That's Becca Brown.
Becca
right
Brown.
Here.
All right.
So anyway, let's talk right away about Third Street Dance.
Okay.
So they go, so the girls, they leave Abby. Last week they left, and now they're moving on and showing Abby that they can make it without her. I feel like they've done this before, but this is like to another level.
Like real.
Mm-hmm.
It's they're taking it farther, I feel like, than ever before. And they always, I feel like, try to go to a nemesis of Abby to
totally.
make her
Yeah.
mad. And then they're like, let's post on social media so she sees. And I'm like,
Oh yeah.
great idea.
Yeah. They definitely 100% love poking that dragon. I mean, it was like new beginnings hashtag.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
they were really eating it up. But I have to say, they seemed so supportive of one another when they weren't competing for Abby's attention. They really, I feel as though it never would have happened that Nia would have gotten that opportunity to sing and invited Kendall on stage.
Right. I don't feel like
Right,
Holly
yeah.
really feels like it's a competition anymore.
Right.
Everyone's, a free for all. Everyone
Yeah.
can have that that opportunity and not have that competition. I thought that was great too.
Yeah.
Maybe part of that is because of the no pyramid thing.
Ooh,
Yes.
no pyramid,
Yes.
which is another thing.
Which
It's like
threw me off too.
so different.
Yeah. Yeah. What's up, what's down, black is
Right.
white. Yeah, it was a totally different structured show, but who knows what the future is going to hold for Abby and the elites.
Right. I mean, she was just sobbing, and Abby has not done that, I feel like. I mean, you see her cry and get upset, but she was just unbearable.
She's been on the road to having breakdowns all season.
Right.
And now she's finally hit the low because they left.
Yeah. Well, it is, I rarely feel terrible for Abby. I often feel like she kind of, gets what she deserves. But this time I really did feel for her. It was kind of heart-wrenching when you heard her outside the door. It was upsetting to watch. And I do think she truly loves the girls and has known them since they were little kids and has raised them, and it must hurt. But at the same time, she does nothing. Like, if she could humanize herself, even then she comes out to the other team and is, calling them names and being mean. And that's her MO. I think it's hard to feel bad for her for too long.
Right. I can see that.
Yeah.
A lot of people have that split idea of her. Some people love her. Some people hate her. Some people feel like she's, a horrible monster. And some people feel like she's the most generous person that they can ever meet.
Yeah.
Maybe like an in-between.
Yeah, I feel like there is no in-between for Abby.
Yeah, I do think she can be quite funny at times, though.
I think she's really
Some
funny.
of her commentary is pretty funny.
Always.
Like, she was telling Eliana about Maddie, and she's like, Maddie has those big eyes and has good facial expressions. She's like, you don't.
Yeah, you not so much. It's like, oh,
that was my favorite. I love that. That's kind of like how my mom, though, was, like, for me growing up. So that's why I'm very, I'm like this. So I get it. And, I don't know.
Yeah.
It makes you a better, you're a thicker skin.
I do think you have to be slightly thick-skinned, and I think those girls did know what they were signing up for, and so do their moms. But part of me I'm like, this child is 7. Finds it a little, I'm like, these are little babies.
Yeah.
But at the same time, having said that, I do think that the elite team, they're young women now. They're not little girls. They're young women.
Yeah.
And I think that she might just work best with younger people.
Yeah.
And that's fine, and she can control them, and their moms, want to be under her thumb, and it might be nice if she could. I would have loved to see Abby saying, "You guys, this really hurts."
Yeah.
I guess that will never happen, and that's just beyond, it seems like she kind of tried to reach out to Melissa, but instead she played the victim and said, everyone's being so mean to me, and it's like, well, it's not that they're right. They didn't just wake up and decide to bully you. It's tough.
It is. I mean, it depends. As I talked to Gianna, my opinion kind of is different now because I do know that they do edit a lot, and also there's a lot of dramatics added. And for how much Abby does care for the girls, I feel like it was genuine. And then she's just probably one of those people that piles everything on top of each other and just has a big blow up. So I don't know, though. That whole, what was that woman's name? Erin Babs. Erin Babs came in and are teaching the girls. So I feel like that was just a stab in the heart for her. Yeah. And the girls were doing so great. So if you watch them and you watch their choreography, I was writing down exactly what they were doing. Now, let me look. It was... Oh, okay, so Bryn has... They all have contemporary numbers, but Bryn has this one called Left Cycle, her solo, and she was super impressive. I was watching her, and it was, incredible. And then Kalani, I didn't even see that dancer all season. So watching Kalani doing some of those things, and I'm thinking to myself, well, yeah, exactly what you said, Pam, that maybe she does work better with kids.
Yeah.
Ooh, we have a lot in the chat right now. Hi.
Hey, everybody.
Mary Dutta. Mary Dutta. I'm going to say I have a different opinion than the other fans. I'm over the elite girls. I'm actually liking the minis better. And why is Nia still there? It's never good if someone comes after you and leaves before you, like JoJo did. Oh, you mean like go back and forth? Nia's been with Abby
for a while.
forever.
Yeah.
I mean, since
She's dedicated.
I think Nia's been there since she was like 2.
Yeah.
So that's why Nia's still there.
I think it's one of those things where her mom, like, as much as she might want to at times, can't pull her away from there because...
Well, that's her life.
Yeah, well...
Yeah.
And because she has, as you said, there's editing and stuff in the show that makes Abby look a certain way. But Abby has probably, at the end of the day, been like a second mom to Nia, so, like...
Yeah.
Well, also, we saw the power games that go on with Abby, too, in the career. She would dangle these things, like, even tonight at the show, she said, like, you had an audition, and you had an audition, and you had an audition, and of course I canceled them.
I like how Bryn said good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Bryn, and Kalani really is coming into her own as, like, an adult at this point. Like,
Yes.
even the girls now, it used to be the dance moms, and they were little girls, and the moms fought with Abby on their daughters' behalfs and with each other.
Yeah.
And now
Now
I
it's the
think the girls, it's going to be hard for them to, they have their own wills at this point. They're not just little kids doing exactly what their moms think, and their moms, again, I don't know how much it is performance or what, but Abby would say, like, oh, I'm going to do this, and play them against each other and dangle carrots of, I'm going to do your video next and your video
Well,
next.
that, in her opinion, probably means that she wants them to be stronger and, you know, never leave. And she wants to say, hey, I have all these opportunities.
Right.
Come to me and don't leave. So I wish that there was some competition to see here so that we could be like, well, that worked or that didn't. So now it's all just all a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Yeah, will it work? Will all this stuff work? I mean, what did you guys think of Nia and Kendall singing?
Again, there was a lot of creative, I think, like, I would like to be a fly on the wall with the producers. I was a little scared leading up to it.
Really? What made you scared?
Well, a lot of what they were singing was a kind of notes that are like, it's really hard to do. That seem easy, but it's that kind of like low. I'm trying to think of a popular singer that does it, and they're not easy, and they didn't come off in their rehearsals. They were a little, as they say on The Voice, a little pitchy.
And we haven't
in times.
We haven't really like seen them sing much on the show.
Right.
We've seen it here and there, but like
Well, we've seen it done and
we've
well
seen
produced.
We've
like
seen it produced.
yeah, all
Right.
on stage or all
Very
on
produced.
a video.
Yeah.
Like, they're pop stars that do stuff and dance more than vocals,
music
just getting
videos.
out there and singing.
Right.
Yeah, like the videos.
That's not really where the focus is.
Yeah.
You know, Abby thinks star is star, which she's right in some extent.
Yeah.
But the girls do need a little bit
They
of.
need to sound good live.
There
Yeah.
is
if they're gonna
some-
do it. I mean,
Right.
Abby wouldn't have put them on stage like that. She just wouldn't have done that at this stage in the game unless they were ready to do it and not make themselves look a certain way. And Abby would never put them in a bar either. But I agree with the mothers on bringing them to a bar.
I actually,
What?
Share,
I actually
Becca.
think Nia did great.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, she was singing over a track.
Wait, was she really? That's
Yeah,
what.
was she?
What does
Yeah.
that mean? Like Ashley Simpson SNL, like recorded, pre-recorded, or
Yes, but not.
Okay.
It wasn't like. It wasn't all her. So, like, if, you're singing in the car, you sound better because you're singing with the
Right.
music.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing.
Oh,
So
okay.
you're listening to a
To
part
two
good
things.
and also her voice.
Okay.
It's like what Britney Spears does, too. And,
Right.
like, a lot of people do it, but they're moving around and dancing, and they
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
catch their breath a lot of times.
Right.
So that's why they do it, amongst other things. But... with Nia, that's why Abby pointed that out, and she was like, "Was that a track?" And
well, that was. I mean, she was just couldn't have been more terrible throughout their whole performance.
yeah. If she went there with positive attitudes, then I guess maybe she would have gotten them back. But she was going back bitter. What did you guys think?
Yeah, I agreed. The positive attitude needs to be there more, and she should try to support the girls. She doesn't have to like the moms necessarily.
Right.
But if you care so much about the girls, then act like you care. Like, show them you care.
Yeah. I feel like, though, she fights like she's in a different world. Like, if it's like the 90s or something. Like, nowadays, we all know what you're doing. Like, we all get it.
Right.
Like, you can't say these things and think that we're gonna fall for it. Like, oh, I had an audition for you. No, you didn't.
Right.
No, you didn't.
Well, guess what? If you really did, then it would behoove you to keep it for both of us, and maybe you would get me back. Don't threaten me with a good audition. It's like, come on.
And why did she get an audition now?
Right. It's like, you did just decided
like
to bring it up
after.
tonight. You're telling me now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
thanks.
And also that's where I have a hard time. I did feel bad for Abby, and then she shows up, and I do think that she really does, in her heart of hearts, love these girls and care about
That's
them.
why she came.
Well, she
But
showed
then,
up,
don't be such a monster. It's like then you're putting yourself. She literally reminded me of a Disney villain sitting there in that booth during the. It's like, well, then don't act like such a monster to them, and maybe it'll be a little more amicable. And you know, it's like teenagers that have outgrown each other that can't pleasantly move on. It'd be nice to see them reach out and have some sort of understanding that maybe, I don't know. It's hard.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I do. And it's so split. You know, there's one side and then there's the other. What were you going to say, Becca?
I feel bad for poor Kendall because Holly goes up to Abby and's like, so what'd you think of the performance? And Abby's like, did Kendall even perform?
Well, I mean,
That
I
was
get.
just her dig, though.
Well, I kind
I'm
of
like,
get what she
what are you
means,
doing?
though, because she was basically saying, why didn't Kendall have, like, a solo, too? Because Nia performed, and then they performed together. So probably it was like, oh, no, she was her backup singer for this. So she was just trying to dig. It's something that, it's like an elephant in the room. Like, we see it, but we don't address it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't Kendall's thing. It's Nia's thing.
Right.
So that's why she didn't have it, but you don't need to talk about it.
Right.
Yeah, she'll just, like, point out things that are uncomfortable for no reason.
Just
Well, Kendall didn't really look
No.
as confident and as ready to be on stage doing that.
Well, that's with anything, though.
So
Sorry. I just feel like she needs to work on
needs
all of
confidence.
that.
She needs it built back
Yeah.
up.
And I love Kendall. I think it's funny because whenever she's spontaneous or off camera, she has this spunk and this personality that comes through. But then she sort of gets on to perform and like locks up. Like if I didn't see her off performance, I would think she was just didn't have the spark that she does when she's just being relaxed. So hopefully she'll be able to relax into her own. I do think she took a lot of abuse.
Yeah. Well, do you think also dancing next to Maddie the whole time makes a huge difference? She does still hunch. Maddie doesn't make her hunch. So I'm just saying.
I don't know. I think it's probably. I do think there's a certain point. I think Maddie is a star. Maddie is just a brilliant, amazing dancer. She's one in a million.
Right.
Beautiful dancer. To compare people to her endlessly is just they're not Maddie. They're not
Right.
all Maddie.
They're going to be someone else.
They're not going to be Maddie.
Right.
And I don't think Maddie made her hunch. I think that yes, Kendall's rise to the next Maddie when Maddie was gone. No, you're not Maddie.
Right.
I don't think she's going to be Maddie.
But I think that affected her confidence.
I do too.
So, like, growing up, dancing next to her. I don't know.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Tell me what you guys think, too. We want all the opinions because, you never know because what our reality is what they show us. We never know what happens and what they're doing outside of dance, too. We never know.
Unless we
What was going on?
social media.
I would have been curious to see how Kendall performed had Abby not shown up. That would have been to see if she was a little looser because you did see her just.
Yeah.
And we have to remember, this is they're young girls and this has been years of you're not good enough or
Right.
you're not Maddie. And that's got to have some effect. So I don't know if it's something she can break away from.
Well, they should have that should have the opposite effect on you. It should just, I get it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, just thinking the counterpart, it should make you be like, okay, well, I'm gonna be better. I'm gonna be
Ideally.
better. Because that's, if you're gonna make it, then if she's not gonna say it, someone else is.
Mm-hmm.
But,
So, I don't know. What do you think?
like kind of the same way that Abby puts the minis against each other, you know?
Right.
It's like, it should make them want to do better.
I was just going to say that.
Because she puts Eliana and Alexis against each other in this episode, and they're like staring each other down. Those two minis.
I know. They're starting already to have this competition in their head, and I think Abby is watching that and trying to see
where it goes.
Yeah, and who is going to actually take that and fall or take that and rise and see what happens there. So let's talk about the minis really quick.
Okay.
And I say really quick because I don't want to talk about the moms too much. I don't really want to go there. If you have something to say, feel free
Just
to.
a quickie.
Yeah, go
I thought
for
it was hilarious when Peyton, and I love they hit it real hard, the T, like Peyton. Like
too.
I want to call her Peyton. But they're all like Peyton. When Peyton was clearly not learning her dance well, and she had been a little lagging behind previous competitions. And then the mom freaks out about the garbage. It's like, your dance is called It's Trash or
Trash.
I'm Love Trash. Right?
Like,
and then she was like, my daughter's not wearing this. And it's like,
what did you expect?
Right.
Right. It just seemed like a cop-out to me, a real reach.
I get that. I was going to touch on that, though. I wasn't going to talk about the moms fighting, just bickering back and forth. But with talking about Peyton and the trash, I get what her mother was saying with the maxi pad
I get that.
thing. Then you just switch that out for something else.
Right.
You know, just, I don't know, maybe a KFC box or I don't know. I'm just thinking of something. I don't know.
I get that, but her portrayal to the other moms was that she had used garbage on her. It's like, I don't think any of that was real. Regardless of the not liking the garbage costume, which I do understand. You're so proud of your beautiful daughter who's going to do her first solo. You don't want her to be dressed as garbage. I get it. I thought she was a little dramatic about it, and I totally think if the daughter was kicking butt, if Peyton was rocking and everyone was like blown away by her dance, she would not have pulled that costume thing.
See, I think it might have been a test.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like give the kid an ugly costume and see what the mom
Mom
does.
does, yeah. I feel like she does that a lot.
And she wasn't doing good anyway, so she's not gonna win. So see if they pass that test, then okay, she can perform. But she knew that she wasn't gonna pass that test by putting a maxi pad thing on her.
Yeah.
I do feel like maybe pulling her out of the group dance was a good decision, but I don't think pulling her solo is a good decision overall, because she dances well by herself.
Yeah, she does.
She's a good little acrobatic dancer.
Yeah. She is the weakest link, though, in the
She
minis.
is in the group dance.
So that makes sense why Abby just didn't really care. And her solo was lacking. So she wasn't really learning it, and Abby probably didn't want to spend too much time on it. The other girls were going for it, though. So I wonder what's going to happen next week with who wins what. And it was Alexis and Eliana. So they all have, I mean, basically... Well, Eliana gets a lyrical, Alexis gets contemporary, and Peyton gets an acro gymnastic number. So it's all over the place, and I think Abby obviously loves acro. She loves all that kind of stuff for the little ones. So she probably wanted Peyton to do well, but it just, I think in her... grand scheme of things, she probably said, oh, this isn't gonna work out, let me just put this maxi pad on her and just say
and see what happens.
Yeah, and see what happens, you know.
I actually have to sort of side with Abby on this one. I think she was saying, I've done a million of these numbers, cutesy gimmicky numbers. It was a Mackenzie dance. It was a little Mackenzie dance, and it would have been adorable, I think.
Totally.
I don't think it was, I think it would have been really cute. And I did not find the garbage as offensive. I'm not her mother, and I agree with you, though.
It
didn't bother me at all, and I think it was a gimmick, and it would have been cute. More so than that, I think back to the moms setting each other up, because when you're in Abby world, it's all a pyramid.
Yeah.
It's literally a pyramid that I think those other mothers knew full well not the time to mess with her. She's just been hyperventilating, and crying in her dressing room, and that's when she decided to pick the fight about the garbage costume. So
there you go.
you gotta have some timing too if you want to play Abby's games, and these moms have signed up to play Abby's games.
That's true.
Then,
That's really true.
yeah.
What do you feel about Kira?
Oh.
When Kira...
Oh my gosh.
So bigger warfare chess game. They're like, oh, you're not a good team if the team is as weak as you're just setting them up for an implosion.
Right,
Oh, yeah.
right.
I'm interested to see what happens in next week's episode, and I want to see if the mini moms actually stick up for Peyton.
Yeah. So if you guys
Right.
missed it, though, Kira, she told the mini moms, well, you guys all have to stick together. All of you should not dance and be a team. I think, too, that Kira was stirring the pot and trying to start this huge drama because it's okay for them to dance just for. And it's none of her business if Peyton dances or not. And it doesn't matter if she does or not to the other girls because they'll still win that title. So it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
How many times has someone not danced on a Dance Moms episode?
That's true.
So many times, and the girls have not stepped down.
Yeah.
They've all still performed.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I felt like that was a little strange. Oh, let's talk on the group chat. Oh, yeah, 100% a test.
Oh yeah.
But pulled by the producers. So it could either be Abby or the producers.
I think the Kira thing might have been a producer thing too, though.
Maybe.
Like how about you say this just to like create some drama and see what the mini moms do?
Yeah, I could see that. And someone says Peyton mom was pulling a Jill.
Totally.
That was pulling
Yeah.
a Jill.
Yeah.
That was a Jill move.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Speaking of Jill, I like how you have Jill.
Oh,
written
Jill.
here.
Yeah, that was funny.
Well, she was like, I don't know if we should let Kendall. You know, she blames
Yeah.
Abby for the undermining. She's been a part of that too. And Mom, I love you. You know, but I think moms don't mean to do that, but they do that. It's really a mother's undermining happens too, and it's probably worse than Abby, even though they don't try to. When you come in and are like, I don't know if she's ready. Like, I'm happy, but I'm nervous. That's gonna affect
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Stage
your
mom
child.
effect.
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
Make your child nervous.
But back to that. So this is back to Bryn and Bryn's mom.
Yeah.
I'm liking that they are joining the ladies. I wouldn't have thought that they would have been on Team
Oh, you mean
Liberation.
that they're
that
getting
they
along?
left, that they're getting along, that they're
Oh,
functioning.
yeah.
You know, they've
without
been
Abby.
Well,
'cause-
they've been doing well since
JoJo.
JoJo's mom
well,
is
they've been
gone.
doing it, but they've
Jesselyn.
been doing well for they've been doing well for a while, better since then. But she fought so hard to get Bryn with Abby that I just didn't think she would ever defect.
Yeah.
Oh,
She
good
just
point.
Abby's little soldier. And that was the carrot was being dangled. Bryn is not you, Kendall, not you, Kalani. Bryn is
Well,
the new.
Honestly, I think Bryn's doing better at the other
me too.
studio.
Yeah.
So
They're dancing. I can't wait to see because they're the
know.
little sneaks we got of their dances.
so many sneaks. I don't like this part one thing. We need part
Yeah.
one and part two on the same night.
I liked the mom's commentary during like all their dancing of them like saying Abby never challenged them.
Right.
This is completely different than what Abby has always given them. And they all basically like said the same thing about all their daughters' dances in a different way. I found that really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? That's a good point. Good point about all those confessionals. You know, are they told to say something or are they just kind of all coming up with it themselves? Or who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? So anything about this episode that you guys wanted to touch on that I didn't touch on? Because I think that we covered everything. What do you guys think?
One quickie thing
Oh,
I have
say anything you
on,
have.
on this, just on the Abby. So I think
Yeah.
Abby's group choreography this whole season has been amazing, and they've been doing really well.
Mm-hmm.
I think that for the solos, Abby does what she does really well, and Abby's choreography of the lyrical Maddie dances work for Maddie.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if it's the chicken or the egg or the Abby or the dancer that she hasn't really acclimated. Like maybe Kendall would shine in a different sort of dance. Like she wants Bryn because Bryn is, I think, the closest to a Maddie dancer.
Right.
And that's where she does good solo choreography, which is
Meaning
great.
lyrical.
Or little acro.
Yeah.
Or Mackenzie. But I'd be curious to see what a different choreographer would do with a Nia, with a Kendall, with a... I'm excited. I'm really pumped to see what those dances look like.
Yeah.
Especially Nia, because I don't think Abby really plays to her strengths much.
Right. No, I so agree with you. Nia needs to be up and center, and she has not given her the time that she needs. I feel like Nia has been there since day one and deserves all the attention and everything, and she hasn't gotten anything. So, well, barely anything. So, looking up at the group chat. All right, guys. All right. Looks like you're sleeping. Comment on our YouTube page and tweet us.
Yes.
So let's talk predictions. Let's go into it.
Okay.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So, what do you ladies think? Pam, this is your first. First prediction. So, share with us. What do you think is going to happen for the final episode of season 6?
Wow. I think that the elite team is going to crush it at the competition. I think that the group dance is going to do well, and I think that the solos are going to do well. And Abby and the minis are in for a major implosion.
All right.
I think the minis and the elite team are gonna do incredible next week. I see the potential both ways. I'm loving all their contemporary dances, the elite teams, and I think it's a good change for them to go to another choreographer and another teacher. Abby's gonna get next week.
Yeah, you think she'll be just really, really upset and go out hard?
Yeah, there's gonna be some fighting next week.
Yeah, and then it rolls right into season 7, so that will be airing, and I'm excited for it.
Yes.
I think that, let's see. Well, the two girls, Eliana and Peyton, I think that both of them are going to really butt heads and not be friends and just go for it and try to win. I think that Eliana will win over Alexis.
Oh, okay.
And Peyton will not dance, and maybe Peyton will not come back. I think that this will be the end for Peyton.
Okay, wow.
That's just
thinking,
partial.
Okay.
So, I think that Erin Babs, she will have her, she will win group dance overall. And I think that the solos, Kalani will win first, Bryn will win second, and I don't know about Kendall. We'll see if Kendall places.
I hope she does.
I hope she gets third if she places, somewhere up there. I hope she places a little bit so that she shows everyone that she can still be up there with everyone.
Yeah.
And I just say that by looking at what I see. Legs are not straight. There's little things that need to be worked on, and Abby calls it laziness. I don't know her, and I don't know her habit, so I'm not going to say that. But I think that what you see is a lot different from the other girls.
Right.
And people can argue that Kalani's older and she's about to be a professional dancer, so I think that that's probably why she is the best right now.
Yeah.
But after I saw her little clip, I just couldn't get over it. I was like, that right there is like a So You Think You Can Dance dancer. That's like a Radio City Music Hall dancer. Like,
Kalani, that's what I was thinking would it be prestigious? It's prestigious to be a Laker girl, right? Like, is there something you can do that's
I don't think
kind
she
of,
would
or
be
not
that.
a dancer? What's the equivalent? Like a Rockette? Like, what is she? Kalani seems like a star right now.
Rockette.
Like, she's ready to be a pro right now. And
Definitely
I
Rockette.
agree that move.
Well,
made me,
that's like Radio City Music Hall type situation.
better than a Laker girl. Okay,
Yeah,
so that's
better
not
than
this
a Laker
dancer.
girl.
Okay.
Well, Laker girls, they're all
dance?
they're absolutely dancers.
Okay.
They're absolutely dancers. All of them are hardworking and insane. But these girls, for what they do, this competition ballet, I'm like lyricals. They can literally be on Broadway and put this. I mean, Nia was on like off Broadway, and she was saying how it was so easy for her, and just they're so used to the schedule. I'm not sure that too many people have had that background that they have.
Well, their turnovers of learning their dances, I can never, when they show the rehearsal, I'm always like, how are they going to pull it off at the competition in one day?
Like,
and they do.
Right. And Gianna shared with me the timeline of what these girls do. It's like, they, on Tuesdays, they do this. They break everything down. On Wednesday, she was like going through exactly what they do. And it's incredible. They don't work as many hours as you'd think, but that's professionally in the studio just because of child labor laws.
Right.
So they probably go home and do
practice.
this, over and over again. So it's basically like 4 days that they have, and by Saturday they have to have it. That's their competition day.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So where would you like to see Kalani? Like on Broadway?
You know what? I would want to see her. I would really, really want to see her on like Dancing with the Stars.
Okay.
Ooh, yes.
And her being one of the people the pros.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
She
like
could
as
be a pro.
judge, as a
No,
pro. Oh.
no, not a judge, a pro.
Well, a teacher. Okay, like a pro.
Yeah,
I got
like
it.
working
like an instructor.
with the
could see
celebrity.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, Kira, you heard it here first. Get Kalani that gig.
Or on So You Think You Could Dance and winning it. I don't know if there's probably some laws on that that she can't do, like compete. Right, but she could probably be, something up there. Like Maddie was a judge.
Like a judge.
Yeah, and she's very strong too, like personality-wise, not just strong.
Yes.
So I think she'd be great for that too.
She's
I like
sure.
it. Okay.
Yeah, and
okay.
she's beautiful. So I feel like she has like a TV face.
Yeah,
She could
she's
like
stunning.
Yeah, she can do anything.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Out of all the girls, I feel like I'm most surprised that Kalani was still with Abby.
I think they're really holding it on to the end. Like, she's not 16 yet. She's 15. I think when she turns maybe 18, they'll really try to do everything that they can up until she's 18 and then just send her off to probably New York or something. Or stay in LA.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything's here. So,
That's true.
Yeah. But I think that's it. Do you guys have any other final words to say on this episode? Episode 32.
No, just can't wait to see what the next one's going to bring.
Right,
I'm on the edge of our seat.
It'll be 2 teams, 2 studios, and part 2.
Ooh.
So, guys, thanks for being with us. I'm Jennifer Leone, and you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Jennifer Leone TV. And please watch my interview with Gianna that I had last night. And I'm telling you, she tells you everything about the girls. So definitely check that out on AFTERBUZZ TV as well. And follow AFTERBUZZ TV at AFTERBUZZ TV. Give us a thumbs up, 5-star rating, comment, and tell us what you think. Please let us know. We want to hear it so that we can give you the show that we want to give you and that you want to watch. Next week, we will have the finale. So these are my lovely co-hosts. Tell them where they could find you.
Hi, I'm Becca. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Becca B Talks TV.
Awesome. I'm Pam Gross, and you can find me all over the internet at Pamela Gross Jill.
Yay! You had a great first show.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys. See you next week for the finale.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.